Something big, it just shifted here. And you can't just look at the headlines, you gotta look at the signal, the current underneath. And while the traditional world right now, it really faces the perfect storm cracks in the Japanese bond market, gold signaling a flight to safety and in a big way, new all time highs. Washington, their annual dance with the shutdown, will this be a record setter? Ripple, they're quietly securing the high ground. In Europe, the green lights, they're not flashing, man. They are locked in. And this isn't hype. It's a massive rotation of capital into infrastructure that's actually ready to perform now. RLUSD, it's scaling institutional adoption, hitting a point of no return. There is no going back from this. And the new banking integrations, they're going live. We aren't just looking at a recovery, we're looking at a system designed for this exact environment. Tonight, we're going to go through all of it, try to connect the dots. Let's start out with this, and this is huge here. Ripple's European expansion, it's unstoppable. Are you looking at everything that's going on here? Following their massive legal victory here in the US, Ripple is now securing the regulatory green light across Europe. The malfunctioning traffic signals, they're turning green now for institutional capital, and it's flowing in. Just a short breakdown here. We have the UK FCA approval on January 9th. We have Luxembourg CSSF approval on January 14th. This is a green light given to Ripple preliminarily. And the big picture, Ripple now holds 75 licenses globally. While others, they're waiting for full clarity. They're waiting to get after it. Ripple is building the compliant infrastructure that will move the next wave of institutional wealth. Where are they going to want to put their money? Those things that are compliant, those things that are proven, those things that work here. Now, major Ripple adoption update. We have officially renewed its custody partnership in Turkey, and they've grown from 14,000 early adopters in late 2024 to now over a million users. This is what scaling with blockchain should be like. Assets that are supported, XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. The holy trinity of crypto here. Turkey's second largest private bank is partnered here. And the tech, Ripple, it's institutional grade custody. That's what it's all about here. You see this little graphic I made. The wave is getting bigger, and it's global. It's Europe. Here we are in Turkey. It is all over the place. Now, right now, what are we facing here? There's four real stressors here that are scaring people in a big way. Japan's bond market. The Japanese government bond yield has spiked, sending shockwaves through the global fixed income market as investors reprice what was once the world's most stable market. Risk assets everywhere are feeling the heat. Gold also signaling this flight to safety, trading near its record highs, $5,000 an ounce. Has that been a big trade there? This move reflects a deep-seated lack of confidence across bonds. You know, people are looking at all U.S. bonds, Japanese bonds, and people are going to go the gold route right now. And I also wrote an article the other day. It's not just how much money's flowing in, but for years, central banks and nation states have been stocking up on gold. There's just not a lot of supply there. That's why you're seeing precious metals really move very quickly here. Now, we have this is a big one. U.S. fiscal clock is ticking. The looming threat. Are we going to go back into another government shutdown? And if we do, is it going to be another record setter? Now, my buddy Billy the XRP Cowboy, before we started this year, he told me it's going to come down to it. Everyone's going to panic. Everyone's going to assume this is going to be another record setter, and either it won't happen at all, or it'll be very short. We'll see how that plays out. There's a lot at play. This is an election year. We will see. And lastly, of course, we're all watching this. Geopolitical risk is rising. Of course, U.S. sending a lot of military force. Everything that's going on in Iran. Will something bigger break out in the Middle East? Investors, they're not buying the dips right now. They're starting to rotate into safety, but it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to halt that kind of investing, and everyone comes right back to those risk assets, tech companies, AI, cryptocurrencies, and I think it is going to happen. But make no mistake, these are all things we got to deal with right now, and we're going to have to clear Hopefully it happens in the first quarter of this year. Ripple at Davos. The production era has begun. Ripple's leadership just laid a massive vision for 2026 at the World Economic Forum. Brad Garlinghouse, he's calling for all-time highs. He's looking at this list, Japanese bonds, U.S. shutdown, geopolitical risk, and he's saying, no, we're going to all-time highs this year. In a fresh CNBC interview, Ripple CEO went on the record he expects the crypto market to hit all-time highs. His Bitcoin targets just last year was 180,000. If that happens, everything else will gap up. We haven't seen a run yet in altcoins, and when that happens, man, it is going to be epic. The catalyst, a massive sea of change in Wall Street, engagement driven by U.S. regulatory clarity. We got the Genius Act. We need the Clarity Act, and I think we're going to get it. Now, if we start shutting down and it gets too far in the year, it ain't going to happen, and it may not happen for a long time, if ever. But I believe there's so much at stake here. Banks want this. All your brokerages want this. They all want to go on chain. It's going to happen. Everyone's incentivized here to make a deal. Now, Monica Long says 50% of Fortune 500 companies by this year end will have an official and formalized digital asset strategy. They're all going to start adopting this technology. That is mass adoption, and that's going to move values here as we go forward. Really interesting. I put this up on X. Watch it if you have not yet, but it's an interview with Brian Armstrong of Coinbase. And what he's saying is the old way of running a company is dead here. Brian Armstrong just revealed he's using AI agents to help him run Coinbase, and it's a glimpse into the future here. One of the most interesting things is real-time monitoring. Basically, his agents are looking at all the Slack messages, all the communications and email, everything in company, and he doesn't have to wait till he meets with the team leader or till they do some quarterly review to go, oh no, we got a problem, we're running into issues. He's getting alerted in real time, like, hey, this department's arguing with this, we have this issue that needs to be resolved. He is literally being informed in real time about everything about his company. Rapid D framework at Coinbase AI has a seat at the decision table. Their Rapid D system uses agents to debate strategy, challenge assumptions, and probe for weaknesses here. Sometimes it's what you don't know that gets you in trouble. Something like this can really point that kind of stuff out. Now, CEO coaching. He's not just telling the AI what to do. He's asking the AI, what should I be thinking about? What am I doing wrong? And, the AI will look at it. His different agents will say, well, you want to spend 20% of your time on this, but it's eating up 35% of your time. You're not being efficient. You're not doing this. The AI is coaching him to be a better CEO. We'll do the same for workers and everything on managers all the way down the line. This is a big deal. Lastly, how important this is to Coinbase. Adapt or exit. He made a mandate. Learn AI coding in 7 days or you are out. Currently, that company is doing 1/3 of all its code. It's AI generated right now, and they're headed for 50%, as is much of the industry. We've come a long ways in a very short amount of time, but the world is changing drastically. And remember this, these AIs, they're going to need a monetary system, and that is likely going to be the blockchain. What blockchain can meet the needs of the future, making millions of little transactions all day long, 24/7, 365, autonomous? We're going to need payment systems for these artificial intelligence agents, and it ain't going to be Bank of America or Wells Fargo or any of your traditional TradFi systems. They cannot do millions of little tiny micropayments all over the place. Blockchain is what's going to actually meet that demand. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.